Hey everybody, what's up? I'm out here hustling tonight. It's slow as hell, but it's been slower in the daytime. But I'm out here, and I don't have any customers, so I decided to make a video. Lately, I've been talking about health and pharmaceutical medications, and hey, how you doing? And weaning yourself off these medications and doing whatever you need to do to become healthy again. Um, it's not your fault for the most part, especially concerning people who have type 2 diabetes and to a very large extent hypertension. But it's not your fault that so many people have diabetes. It wasn't you. You weren't eating too much sugar and stuff like that. It's good to be active, but all this diabetes does not come from being inactive. Uh, our environment is poison. Now, I believe that the poison is coming from multiple things that we eat and drink: high fructose corn syrup and these um, drinks and these pops and sodas, whatever you call it. That's one thing. And then you have the meat. It's mainly, I believe, coming from the meat. All those chemicals and things that they put in the meat is breaking down our body's ability um, to properly metabolize sugar. So messing with our pancreas, all that stuff. So it's not really our fault, but it is our responsibility to fix it. So I'm coming back to you with another video about health. As you know, I have suffered from type 2 diabetes. I am at the point of being pre-diabetes. I am almost done with this mess. My hypertension, everything is under control. I just need to get it to where my diabetes under 5 points, so I get off the doggone medication. But I have already had my medication decreased because I didn't need that much, and my A1C is slowly drifting towards 5.9. Okay, so with that being said, I want to reiterate my particularly my diabetic experience. I first discovered I was diabetic in 2016, but I was sick way before that. It's just like it got to the point where I had to go ahead and see what was wrong. I had to go to emergency. I couldn't stop urinating. My mouth was always dry, and it was, just a few things going on with me for a while. And I wasn't the type of person that would go to the doctor at least once a year to get a checkup. I hadn't been to a doctor's office to get a checkup in over a decade or longer. I mean, a very long time. So how would I know anything was wrong with me until it was damn near too late? Okay, so during my my experience with this deadly disease, it's very deadly. I was told by doctors about what to do and what not to do, but they didn't really explain it to me that would really, help me. But I took a diabetic class, and that really, really helped me. It talked about the importance of looking at the sugar content in cans and foods that you eat. Staying away from, kind of like just be aware of how much of what you're eating. You need to, we were taught in that diabetic class to measure our foods. You're only supposed to have so much rice, so much potato, so much of this and that. And that helped me out tremendously. But I'm extremely sugar resistant. So when I started cutting these things down, like carbs and rice and potatoes and things like that, and soft drinks and candies, case pies, whatever, I cut them down, I was still high. My sugar was still high. Then I eventually cut that stuff out. I cut it out, and my sugar was still high. My A1C was still high. So My doctor prescribed to me, besides my metformin, this Glimpride, and I wasn't taking the Glimpride right, like I should have been taking. You're supposed to take that stuff with food. I wasn't doing that, and it ended up messing up my pancreas and put me in the hospital in 2022 with pancreatitis. So going back to the Glimpride, that's basically what helped helped me be able to lower my A1C. It was the Glimpride, but at the same time, it was killing me. While I was in the hospital, I suffered an injury to my kidneys that I'm still dealing with, because even though I had had diabetes for a while, they didn't see any protein in my urine until after I had injured my kidneys as a result of having pancreatitis, and I was in the hospital for about 5 days. So I was in bad shape, but I made it out. So I wanted to go. Let's talk about. I think I talked about it before. I want to get into what they were telling me about fruit now. The doctors, they were warning me. Like I said, it wasn't. They didn't really get into what you really needed to know. I learned that from the diabetic class, but they were saying, you can't eat a lot of fruit. You got to be careful with eating fruits. There's only so many amount of grapes that you can eat. If you want to eat a banana, you can only eat half in the morning and then half maybe in the evening. We'll eat one apple, or one apple in the morning and one apple in the evening and stuff like that. And then I was talking to other people who were diabetics, because just about everybody I know, and I'm pretty sure you probably know, is diabetic. And they're telling you can't mess with that fruit. That fruit will do it too. That fruit will do it too. But, they were telling me the same thing that they were told by their doctors. Okay. So I knew about Dr. Sebi a little bit. I met him. I met him in Detroit, met him 2 times. But I didn't really get off into what he was saying. Not because, he back then he was really, at the time that I was listening to him, he was talking about AIDS, because at that particular time, we didn't have an epidemic of diabetes among our people. So, I kind of looked at him through those lenses. I don't have a problem with him or nothing like that. I'm just saying. So in August, I believe it was this year, or it was either mid or late July or early August. So I don't really remember, but it was around that time, I know. I was on YouTube and Yaki Awaken popped up on my feed, and he started talking about diabetes type 2, and that you can cure diabetes by eating fruit. So I said, wait a minute. I was told to be extremely careful with eating fruit. I was told, he spoke about the melons, watermelon especially, helping to regulate your sugar and get your kidneys back on track and stuff like that. But I was told to leave watermelon alone because it had too much sugar. So I started pondering. I said, I know this man is not telling diabetics something that's going to kill us, because diabetes kills. I've known people that by diabetes have killed, heard about them, people who have had their toes cut off, limbs chopped off, all that terrible stuff, you know what I'm saying, on dialysis, having strokes, heart attacks. Diabetes is a horrible disease, horrible. And no, I said, this man can't be misinforming us, because he could kill a lot of people who are desperate for answers to this diabetes, who's probably insulin resistant and not so insulin sensitive like myself. Because I could exercise and stay on my diet, no rice, no potatoes, no chocolate or nothing, and I still wake up and my sugar still be high, in the 170, 180, early 200. I'm like, golly, what's going on? So he said, going back to Yaki Awaken, in the video that I saw him, he said that, you want to start, when you start first eating a lot of fruit, put, 2 or 3 different types of fruit. You want to eat it in the morning, especially if your A1C is high, and not mess with it after the morning. He said when you first start eating it for the first 3 days, your sugar will increase. It's going to increase a little, but then it'll start decreasing. Your sugar, your your count will start to decrease. So I said, let me try it. So I had gotten some grapes and watermelon and stuff like that, and the first time I started just eating a lot of fruit was the grapes. So I was eating some. I didn't listen. My A1C is not that high. It's under 7.0. But I still didn't listen, and I ate some fruit at night. I believe it was some grapes, and I had a handful, some big old fat grapes, and when I woke up in the morning, I checked my blood sugar, and yes, it was high. I was like, damn, let me get some cinnamon, because I threw away that Glen Pride. I stopped using that Glen Pride, and because that Glen Pride used to take my sugar down sometimes it would take it down too low. I had to cut it in half. So I had to get on that cinnamon, and it helped too. It wasn't as good as the Glen Pride, didn't work as fast as the Glen Pride, but it worked. So I just started just eating tons of grapes, especially different types of grapes. Cotton candy grape, this type of grape, black grapes, moon-shaped grapes or whatever. Just went grape crazy, and got on my watermelon and cantaloupes and stuff like that. Just eating all kind of fruits. Pineapple, they tell you as a diabetic not to eat pineapple. I got on my fruit. So about a couple of weeks, a week or so later, I started noticing I'm eating all this fruit, and I'm waking up, and my sugar count is lower. It's not no 180 and 200 and 224. It's not that high anymore. It's down to 154, 143 after about 2 weeks of getting on my fruit. Start eating fruit. So I've been doing it since August, September, and October for 3 months now. And as long as even if I eat something like late at night, even if I eat a little cake or eat some potatoes or break down, usually I just trying to see what my blood sugar is going to be like in the morning. It's still no more than 155. I swear, I kid you not. There was a time I could not eat anything after 6 because it would show up in my blood sugar in the morning, even though it wasn't a heavy carb or anything like that. The fact that I ate, it would show up in my blood sugar. It's not showing up anymore. There is nothing that has done that but fruit. Fruit is regulating my sugar. Now, what if the doctors, when I first found out I had diabetes, which is my fault, I should have been going and getting my health checked. That's all my fault. What if the doctors would have said, look, just start eating some fruit. Start eating them in the morning. Don't eat no more after a certain time. Don't eat after 12, and just put down the carbs and the candies and the sweets, and just eat the fruit. And your sugar will go up a little bit for 3 days, and then it will start declining. It will start going down. The fruit will help your sugar go down. It will bring it down. Oh my God, I wouldn't be dealing with kidney problems today if the doctor had told me this truth. Now, recently I had a checkup, and I was doing well, blood pressure well, managed, diabetes managed, and stuff like that. So I told the doctor about the fruit regulating my sugar, and now it's like I can even eat late at night, which you shouldn't, after 6 and 7 and 8, and I wake up and my sugar is not nowhere near as high as it would have been before I started eating the fruit. And I was telling them this is another doctor. I've had several doctors. This is a whole new doctor that I'm under, and I was telling him good luck. He didn't say He didn't say good luck. He didn't say, keep on doing what you're doing. He said absolutely nothing. He didn't say a word about me telling him how fruit was regulating my sugar and bringing my sugar down, count down in the morning, down in the 40s and 30s, and even lower than that if I don't eat at night. You know what I'm saying? And it's getting lower and lower and lower as the months go by. He didn't say nothing. You know what? I came to the conclusion that they already know that fruit regulates your sugar. They already know that fruit can eventually help you rid yourself of diabetes. They already know that, but they're not going to tell you that. Something is eating some fruit. For type 2, I understand type 1 is different. I'm not talking about type 1. I'm talking about type 2, which is the one that's plaguing so many people and killing so many people. I mean, deadly. Got so many people on dialysis and missing limbs and stuff like that. That's that doggone type 2. He didn't have nothing to say. You know what? We have a lawsuit against the Medical Association. I know y'all saying this is stupid. They ain't gonna do nothing. But you know what? We have a lawsuit against them. If anything, when it came to telling us about fruit, if anything, I would have just said, be careful with fruit. Not you can't eat this or that type of fruit. You can only eat that. A half, a very small amount of this, no more than 6 grapes to eat. No, they should have said, well, they should have told the truth. You can eat fruit, just don't eat it late. That's not what they're saying. We could have saved so many people's lives. I have a busted blood vessel in my right eye from having diabetes, high sugar. I wouldn't have had to go through that. I wouldn't be having problems with my kidneys. I wouldn't be having problems, period, from diabetes if they would have told us the truth. But then again, I understand that they're under oath. They're not supposed to tell us that. Let me tell y'all, I'm a witness. Fruit can regulate your sugar and bring it down. Just give it some time and get rid of that stuff. You'll probably be done with diabetes in about 5 to 6 months, maybe a year. Even if it's a year, I could have been, off meds in 2017 or 2018 when I found out I was diabetic. In 2016, these doctors told me the truth. They told me to be careful and not to really eat fruit, and they told many other people that, and they have done so much. Some people have suffer so much trauma and damage that they did not have to suffer as diabetics. So we have a lawsuit against the Medical Association. One day we're going to get together and we're going to make them give an account for how they have lied to the people and they have killed us off, and all this other, got people take on dialysis for the rest of their life and stuff like that. It did not have to happen. Something as simple as using fruit to help regulate your sugar, that's what they could have told us. But of course they want us sick, they want us dying. They don't care if they die, but before we do, they want to make a lot of money. The plan is to make some big money off of us before they kill us. And diabetes, we don't have to die from that. So I'm just here to tell you as a witness. I'm a witness to what it is that I'm saying. I'm not taking anybody else's story. This is my story. Y'all get up on your fruit. All you diabetics, everybody you know who's diabetic, get up on your fruit. Just let them know. When you start eating it, eat it in the morning. Eat you some watermelon, half a banana, all that in the morning. And that your sugar is going to increase a little bit for the next 3 days. After 3 days, it'll start decreasing. And you can possibly save somebody's life. I believe that you will save somebody's life. Not possibly, you will. You'll save your loved ones and your friends' life. Okay, so I just wanted to make this video. Please like and share. death to diabetes and not to you and me, okay? Peace.